Ever wondered why some companies thrive while others struggle? The answer lies in strategic analysis. Strategic analysis is the process of researching an organization and its working environment to formulate strategy. It's like a roadmap that tells a company where it stands, where it can go, and how it can get there. It's crucial because it helps businesses make informed decisions by understanding their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, commonly known as SWOT analysis. But SWOT is just one piece of the puzzle. Another critical tool in strategic analysis is the 5 forces analysis, developed by Michael Porter, a renowned Harvard Business School professor. This analysis is like a 5-pronged weapon, a quintessential tool that helps businesses view their competitive environment from 5 different perspectives. The 5 forces analysis is a tool that helps us understand the 5 key areas that can affect a business's competitive environment and profitability. It's like having a secret weapon that can help you anticipate shifts in competition, identify opportunities, and even reveal threats before they become too dangerous. The first force is the threat of new competitors. How easy is it for new players to enter your market? The second is the threat of substitutes. Can your customers easily find a different product or service that does the same job as yours? The third and fourth forces are the bargaining power of buyers and suppliers. Can your customers or suppliers dictate terms because they have more power? And the fifth force is the intensity of rivalry among existing competitors. How cutthroat is the competition in your industry? Each of these forces can have a significant impact on your business. The beauty of the 5 forces analysis is that it provides a clear, structured way to think about these forces so you can strategize effectively. So why does all this matter? Well, because understanding these forces can help you position your business strategically. It can give you a competitive edge and help you stay one step ahead of the competition. So, what are these 5 forces that Porter talks about? Let's delve into each one of them. Firstly, we have the threat of new competitors. This force is all about the ease or difficulty of new players entering a market. It's like a gatekeeper, determining who gets to join the party and who doesn't. Let's consider a few examples. The airline industry, for instance, has a high barrier to entry. This is due to the significant capital investment required to purchase planes, hire skilled personnel, and comply with safety and regulatory standards. This high barrier limits the threat of new competitors, allowing existing players to breathe a little easier. On the other hand, the digital marketplace, particularly in areas like e-commerce or app development, has relatively low barriers to entry. Here, anyone with a good idea, some tech know-how, and a modest amount of capital can set up shop. This results in a much higher threat of new competitors, keeping existing players on their toes. But it's not just about money or technical skills. Factors like government regulation, patent protection, brand loyalty, and access to distribution channels can also play a significant role in determining the threat of new competitors. Understanding this force is crucial for both existing businesses and potential entrants. For the former, it's about safeguarding their territory and staying ahead of the game. For the latter, it's about assessing the feasibility and potential profitability of entering a new market. So, there you have it. The ease or difficulty of new players entering a market can significantly impact the competitive landscape. Next up is the threat of substitutes. Now, what exactly does this mean? Well, in the context of Porter's 5 forces analysis, substitutes are products or services that offer a similar benefit to an industry's product, but by a different process. Let's take the transportation industry as an example. If you're a car manufacturer, your direct competitors are other car makers, but your substitutes, those are public transport, bikes, or even walking. These alternatives might not provide exactly the same benefit as owning a car, but they do offer a way to get from point A to point B. which is the essential function of a car. Or consider the fast food industry. Substitutes here could be anything from home-cooked meals to high-end restaurants, anything that feeds people and satisfies their need for sustenance. So, why is this important? Well, the higher the threat of substitutes, the more pressure it puts on your prices. If there are viable substitutes for your product or service, then customers can easily switch over if you decide to increase your prices. In industries where the threat of substitutes is high, companies often need to invest heavily in marketing and customer service to differentiate themselves from these substitutes. They need to convince customers that their product has added value that these substitutes simply can't match. Remember, substitutes can undermine a company's profitability. It's crucial to keep an eye on potential alternatives. The third and fourth forces deal with bargaining power, both of buyers and suppliers. So, let's dive in to understand these forces better. First, let's take a look at the bargaining power of buyers. In this context, buyers are the people or organizations who create demand for a company's products or services. When the buyers have strong bargaining power, they can demand lower prices or higher product quality, squeezing the company's profitability. For example, in the airline industry, buyers have a lot of power because they can easily compare prices online and switch to another airline if they find a better deal. On the other hand, the bargaining power of suppliers refers to the ability of suppliers to drive up the prices of inputs. Suppliers gain power when they are the only source of a critical input, when there are no substitutes for their product, or when they can provide differentiated inputs. A great example of this is the pharmaceutical industry. Drug manufacturers rely heavily on certain active ingredients, and if the suppliers of these ingredients decide to raise their prices, the pharmaceutical companies have little choice but to pay up. Now, it's important to note that these forces aren't static. They can change over time, and they can vary from industry to industry. Companies need to keep a constant eye on these forces and adapt their strategies accordingly. For instance, a company in an industry where buyers have a lot of power might focus on differentiation, creating unique products or services that buyers can't easily find elsewhere. Similarly, a company in an industry where suppliers have a lot of power might look for ways to reduce its dependency on those suppliers, such as by finding alternative inputs or by vertically integrating. Remember, understanding these forces isn't just about identifying threats, it's also about finding opportunities. By understanding the bargaining power dynamics in your industry, you can identify gaps and leverage points that can give you a competitive edge. The balance of power between a company and its buyers and suppliers can significantly impact its profitability. So, it's crucial to understand and manage these forces effectively. Finally, we arrive at the intensity of rivalry among existing competitors. This force is all about the competitive landscape of an industry. It's the push and pull, the back and forth, the tug of war among businesses striving for that coveted market share. The intensity of rivalry among existing competitors can be influenced by several factors, such as the number of competitors, the diversity of competition, product or service similarity, and customer loyalty. Take the airline industry, for instance. It's a classic example of an industry where rivalry is incredibly intense. Why? Well, think about it. There are numerous airlines, each offering very similar services. Whether you're flying from New York to London or Tokyo to Sydney, the experience is largely the same across all airlines. This similarity makes it hard for any single airline to stand out, leading to intense competition. Or consider the smartphone industry. Companies like Apple and Samsung constantly vie for customer loyalty, releasing new models with innovative features to outdo each other. The rivalry is palpable and can be seen in their aggressive marketing campaigns and relentless innovation. Yet, there's a caveat. While competition drives innovation, too much rivalry can be detrimental. Companies can get caught up in a vicious cycle of price wars and aggressive marketing, which can erode profits and threaten survival. So, as we navigate the business landscape, It's crucial to keep an eye on the intensity of rivalry within our respective industries. Healthy competition is good, but when it becomes too intense, it can threaten a company's survival. So, we've explored Porter's 5 forces, but what's the big picture? Well, let's distill it down. These 5 forces, the threat of new competitors, the threat of substitutes, the bargaining power of buyers and suppliers, and the intensity of rivalry among existing competitors. They're not just abstract concepts. They're the strategic winds and currents that every business sails on. Understanding them is like having a compass in the vast sea of the market. The threat of new competitors and substitutes keeps businesses on their toes, fostering innovation and encouraging better customer service. The bargaining power of buyers and suppliers, on the other hand, influences pricing strategies and profit margins, making it a crucial factor in financial planning. And let's not forget the intensity of rivalry among existing competitors. This force shapes the competitive landscape, dictating the tactics and strategies businesses adopt to stay ahead of the pack. So when you're charting the course for your business, remember the importance of these 5 forces in strategic analysis. They can help you identify opportunities and threats, develop competitive strategies, and make smarter business decisions. They're the tools you need to navigate the competitive business environment, to anticipate the moves of your competitors, and to steer your business towards success. With the right strategic analysis, even the most turbulent of business waters can become navigable. Remember, knowledge is power.